He warned him. He gave Dom every opportunity to back away. He told him, I'm invincible tonight. And it didn't matter. Grand Slam, John Cena, Intercontinental Champion. Let's talk about it.
I am invincible.
Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
We can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mark It Down podcast. I am James Gisanti, joined tonight by Matt Cascone as we cover Monday Night Raw. Guys, he did it. He did it in Boston. John Cena doesn't hit the single. He doesn't hit the double. He doesn't even hit the triple. He hits the Grand Slam. Finally, after all these years, in what Matt just informed me was his first ever attempt, John Cena wins the Intercontinental Championship. I did not have this on my bingo card as a certainty. It was something that I think we were all hoping for, to, as something that could happen this year in this farewell tour. I am ecstatic. I am so happy. We're going to get into everything. Matt, just your initial gut reaction, John Cena, Intercontinental Champion. What do you think?
I liked it. I'm not always a big John Cena fan. I think Dom can totally recover from this. No problem. In fact, I'm sure he loved it, getting to face John Cena. Couldn't happen in a better place. And I think overall, you're not going to get, like, the fact that Boston was not getting John Cena's last match, his last appearance ever in WWE, like they had originally, pitched or planned, however you want to say it. This is as good a, plan B or a consolation prize as you can get.
I'll be honest, given the fact that more than likely John is going to lose his last match, this almost feels more like the win for them. They got to see John win his last championship. It just feels presumably. What up, Tyler? Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Hope you enjoyed Raw. Hope you enjoyed Cena winning. But we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all the details. I won't lie to you guys. It was John's show tonight. He covered basically the first 45 minutes of the show. I'm not complaining, but there he is. But it was a lot. If you weren't thrilled to have a little bit of Cena, sorry, you got a whole lot of Cena. As the show starts, Triple H is already in the ring. Are you back?
Yep. Ow.
Okay.
It's all about me, baby. I just wanted to show you. I've got here. Do me a solo. Here we go. We got Dominic Mysterio, and we have John Cena. It's only a first time with Dominic Mysterio. I'm probably gonna upgrade him, but we're gonna take that belt off of Dom, and we're gonna give it to John. So there we are. And how do I get this to doubles back? Go back to double.
I got it.
Don't look at me.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so the show starts with Triple H in the ring. The crowd is heavily chanting Cena's name. The crowd is 100% behind, just excited for John to come out.
Even before that, they did a great intro of they showed Boston. They had a shot of Westbury, New Mass, where Cena is from. They really were hyping up the city, the venue, the circumstance. And then, it went right into Triple H. And there was 100%. A great Triple H sucks sign. Behind him.
You can't have a big moment in WWE without Triple H sticking his big nose in it. But I said what I said. Triple H does do a great job of hyping Cena up. He calls him objectively the GOAT, objectively the greatest of all time. He says there are lots of ways to measure greatness. There are lots of ways to measure success and how to argue who the best is. But by every measure of the definition, John Cena is that. It was a very, it felt heartfelt speech about John, his longtime rival, his longtime co-worker, his longtime bread and butter for WWE. It was really a nice moment to hear Triple H acknowledge John and, put him over in such a way. John then came out and the crowd obviously ate it up. I love the green. I hate so much that green being my favorite color. I hate how much it's associated with Boston. And I either gotta wear Boston shit or what, but it looked good. The green looked good. John really soaked it all in. You could tell he was kind of emotional. Like, he never cracked, he never broke, but you could tell that there was a lot there.
Even when he was speaking, like his promo was really good, but there was just like the tiniest bit of jabberjaw. Like, I know from the emotion. So like, you knew what he was saying, but it was just kind of like a very small, subtle case of jabberjaw. And yeah, Triple H, like you said, definitely put him over. And like, we sometimes we criticize Triple H for these big speeches at the beginning of shows. Sometimes they feel like they're Danny says some things. Danny hates Triple H. But yeah, like, it really didn't feel that way. It felt like this guy's just trying to do what he can and try and like fill the holes that fill the shoes of Vince McMahon, that kind of character.
You could easily have had John just come out. It's not like he needed an introduction, but at the same time, it was a great introduction. So it's fine in my book. And like you said, we're gonna get to why it was so important that he was there. Let's just I just want to acknowledge Tyler in the comments real quick.
Sure.
He's saying, let's go John Cena. And he says that he's calling it now. It's going to be Cena versus Gunther for John's last match. I've got my own very conflicted feelings about this. We could talk about that a little bit later as we get into the tournament. But yeah. And then Tyler also saying, really cool shout out. Samoa Joe made his first independent wrestling appearance in over a decade. And he did it for one man, his mentor, friend, and colleague, the Navajo Warrior. The Navajo War, he took him on in the main event of the IZW Long Live the King event. It features special guest ring announcer Justin Roberts. Wow, really, AEW really put out for this, so that's cool.
Frankie Kazarian was there too. That was the only thing I saw was a picture of this guy. The Navajo Warrior. With Frankie backstage, and there was like just a lot of good buzz, warm feelings. So good for him.
Very cool. And thank you, Tyler, for sharing that. I didn't know about that, so I'll definitely check it out after this. But as John is getting into it, he talks about how he didn't have a lot of requests for this final tour. He didn't have a request for who his last opponent would be. He didn't have a request for how the story would go. His one real request that he's grateful WWE and Triple H made happen was that he got to wrestle in Boston one last time. And the crowd ate this up. John also made the announcement that his only other request that WWE did make true was that in his final show at his last Saturday night's main event appearance, the show, other than his retirement match, will be a night of exhibition matches as we have NXT talent step up to take on main roster talent. I like this because it's so reminiscent of John's debut as this up-and-coming, fresh-faced, not a lot of people knew him kid, stepping up to Kurt Angle. And it does feel somewhat full circle. So I'm very excited to see what NXT talent jump up. I'm assuming it's going to be Trick. I'm assuming it's going to be Hendry. I'm assuming it's going to be Javon Evans, and maybe for the lulz, Miles Bourne against Randy Orton. But
well, we definitely got some women there too. So
yeah, no, for sure. It's so rough because with the NXT women, I just consider them in their own league, like above the WWE main roster women in terms of talent sometimes. But I know it's just how they're booked. But yeah, this was a fun moment, fun thing to see, and really cool on John to push for this to happen and for WWE to make it happen. But as John is, just continuing with his promo, he is interrupted by, we all kind of saw it coming, Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio, the AAA Mega Campeon, and the self-proclaimed greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Dom. I don't know why you're so dumb.
He's dummy Dom. It shouldn't even be Dirty Dom.
Like, he really is dummy Dom. Like, the last several weeks, he's been continuously getting himself into trouble that is just costing him.
And it's completely avoidable too. Like,
exactly.
Forget dummy Dom, because then people are going to say dummy thick. He's dumbass Dom is what he is.
Dumbass Dominic Mysterio. We love you, Dom. You're hilarious, but you're dumb, dude.
Are we going to the Fanatics thing on Sunday? It's $100. I am not spending that much.
Oh, I saw that. I don't know. Well,
it's too much.
Yeah, probably. More than likely, no. It's not that he's not worth it. I don't think I'm going to do it.
You guys let us know if you're doing it. I think the ticket was $102, then $8 whatever fee, and maybe tax on top of that.
Yeah,
I don't know, but at least $110.
What up, Dragoon? Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Dom comes out and he gets into Triple H's face after telling Cena to, be quiet and let the grown-ups talk, which is just hilarious. He gets in Triple H's face demanding retribution for what happened last week, demanding justice for the great injustices that he has suffered as Intercontinental Champion.
For that deadbeat, yeah.
Yeah, being confronted by his dad, Rey Mysterio. John then gets in his face and he's like, look, man, this ain't it. Like, we're here for me. If you want to step up. But in this town, in this place, I am invincible. So I'm giving you one last chance to leave. If you don't, let's see what happens. And we did. Dom, being unable to get out of his own way, continues putting his foot in his mouth. Triple H decides he agrees with the crowd that you did fuck up, Dom, and he decides to book Dominic Mysterio versus John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship right here, right now. What preceded was a pretty standard match. Dom versus John. It was fun. It wasn't like an amazing matchup, in my opinion. There were some fun bits in it. Dom definitely playing the cowardly heel very well, trying to, go up the ramp before John stopped him, pulling out every cheating ability that he could. Like, he tried pulling the Eddie with the chair, as the ref was distracted. He went for the turnbuckle. John, being someone who wrestled both of his dads at one point or another, being an OG to face either of his dads, is very familiar with the Eddie Guerrero bag of tricks.
For a second there, when you said both of his dads, I'm like, both of John Cena's dads? John, second dad, what?
John did not fall for the chair trick, immediately smashed it on the ground, and then fell to the ground himself, then giving a very comical, over-exaggerated wink at Dom. Dom gets hooked into a AA position. His feet hit the ref as he's fighting out of the AA. John locks in the STF, but there is no referee to see that Dom is tapping. Dom goes to use the championship, misses. John hits the AA. There is no referee. One runs all the way down. 1, 2, too long. Dom kicks out. A little bit more back and forth. Dom hits a frog splash, and this was a thud of a frog splash. Yeah. I don't know if it was flat.
Yeah, just pancake.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I think Dom put all of the pressure into his knees and to like his shoulders to make sure he didn't really flatten John, but it was gnarly looking. And then John then very slowly, like almost comically, like there was a beat in between the frog splash and then John flipping and then picking him up and putting him into an AA. One more AA. 1, 2, 3. John Cena wins his first ever Intercontinental Championship, and like Thanos before him, has completed the gauntlet and has collected everything there is to collect in the WWE. John is a former U.S. champion, a former WWE champion, a former world champion, a former tag team champion, and now the current Intercontinental champion. This was, for me, perfect. I loved it. It was amazing. I do got to shout out a mutual of ours, Matt. I saw him in the entranceway. Antonio was in the crowd.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he was front row on the ramp, so good for him.
Shout out to Antonio. I hope you got to see John tonight, whatever, you know.
The second biggest John Cena fan I've ever met. But yeah, just a fun spot. And John has consistently put Dom over. Like every time he talks about Dom, he is so complimentary. He hypes him up as the future. And considering how very early in Dom's career, John was teaming with him and Ray a lot on the dark show, on the house show circuit, and during dark matches and everything. This had to be a special moment between both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think nothing for anyone to worry about Dom about. I think my complaint, it's not even a major one, but it's something I noticed. The crowd was vicious. Was feral, was the vitriol from the crowd when Dom came out was great. Yep. And I just wish they had kept that up when Cena was, trying to get Dom back into the ring. Dom countered, threw Cena into the steel steps. The steel steps went sideways, and Dom ended up standing on the steel steps, something you don't really see much, and like doing his classic pose. And the crowd was like booing him, but that was the moment they needed to let
boo him. Yeah.
Get all the hate, and they did not deliver.
All joking aside, when it comes to the Eddie Guerrero stuff, but it's the same thing with Eddie. Nobody wanted to boo Eddie because he's so fun and he's so funny. So even when he
fun to boo, like they booed him when he was coming out to interrupt Cena. Just bring that same energy. Like we all know.
I get it.
And it's not a big deal. It's really not. As far as the rest of the match, the only issue I had was after that thud of a frog splash, it just kind of was like it's just. I guess John Cena just no sells a 619 and a frog splash and just, overcomes and, wins. Like, it's kind of like we all got kind of sick of that Super Cena, Superman kind of, most of us did. So I don't like to see like a return to that style of booking. And so
I think you got it. I respect what you're saying about that, but I also do think there's a level of special circumstances where John's got 3 dates left. He's got Monday Night Raw in the Garden next week. He's got Survivor Series, and then he's got Saturday night's main event. I think a little bit of Super Cena in the last leg of his tour. I don't think anyone's like Dom is the perfect type of opponent to do that with.
Yes,
because he is such a chicken shit heel that if John did this to Gunther, that's different.
True. All right.
But this is Dom.
Good.
So we do have to acknowledge in the segment earlier when Dom is doing his stuff and puffing his chest out, John hit him with the most vicious of maneuvers, the fine speech kid. He doesn't have the bald spot anymore, so he wasn't rubbing anything, but it was classic Cena.
Yeah. And this, I think overall, this was great for Dom. Like I always felt bad when, what was it, 2 years ago at the Rumble, he was supposed to have that spot with Brock Lesnar when they were supposed to go on to have a match against each other at Elimination Chamber. Obviously, Brock Lesnar would have squashed Dom.
Yeah.
Still great, like to put on your resume, like, oh, I had a one-on-one match with Brock Lesnar. So I feel like this, even if he's losing the title, losing against John Cena, it's still like a great return to form. And he's also not always been booked as good. Like Dom, everyone deals with highs and lows in booking, and Dom's no stranger to that. And I don't think this is a low.
I don't think so either. I take away that it is John Cena. Take away that it is John Cena in my bias. But losing to a legend in his retirement tour is not a low, even if it's for a title. Like, I know that you in particular were kind of upset about the Bucks Sting Darby situation with Sting's retirement.
Yeah.
But it's not like the Bucks were buried by losing to Sting in Sting's retirement match. You might not want to see it, that type of booking, but nobody's looking at the Bucks the week after as like losers because they lost to Sting.
I was, but they've recovered. So,
you've been wrong about that, but we'll talk about that later. Dom's not a loser. I'm not worried about Dominic Mysterio, who is still holding the AAA Mega Championship. I'm not looking at him as a guy I got to be worried about. So, good showing from both men. Triple H too, I guess. And just really happy with how this went. Tyler saying he thinks this Dom turn to Eddie is going to be a good form of long-term storytelling. I get that. I think Dom at his best should be a good fusion of Eddie and Ray. And I think he's showing a lot of that in his moveset. I think he's showing that a lot in his personality. And we'll see. And we're seeing a lot of that with how he's getting over with the crowd. So time will tell if, God willing, he fulfills the destiny that John and everybody else says that he's going to be the best Mysterio. Speaking of Mysterios, though, we go backstage where John is celebrating in Gorilla. Jey Uso's there. Charlotte and Alexa are there. So many people are there. Finally, he comes face to face with Rey Mysterio, who puts out his hand and shakes John's hand, saying he needed that ass whooping, referring to his son Dom. John said, I hope it was more of a lesson for him. He's a good kid. We'll see if it sticks. And then John and Ray hug it out. Matt, I wanted nothing more than for Ray to challenge John right then and there. Main event, Rey Mysterio taking the Intercontinental title off of John Cena.
That would be amazing. I just talk to Triple H.
Oh, it would have been perfect. As a Cena fan who defended him back then, I, as an adult, understand that it was not okay what happened. It was awful booking. But as a kid who was a John Cena fan and didn't care and was just happy Cena was winning another title, I didn't care about it. I didn't think about it. I didn't stress about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he was not a kid. He was definitely over the age of 18.
I don't know about that. Maybe. I don't know. When did that happen?
2010.
Okay, if it was 2010, I was not over the age of 18. I was maybe 18. Anyway, let's not get bogged down in the details here. This was a nice moment.
It was 2011. It was 2011. So you would have been 18. It's not a big deal. Let's keep going.
I would have nice moment bookended by Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, congratulating Cena. I wish they didn't have Cody there for it. If I'm going to be real, I get why they did for the moment between the two, but it spoiled the surprise of later what happened.
Oh, I still think it's I get what you're saying. I didn't mind though.
Yeah. Moving on, continuing with the John Cena of it all. We have our first match in the Last Time Is Now tournament as Damian Priest took on Rusev. Now, this was a fun matchup. It was as we saw with the other tournament matchup later in the evening, this was a striking matchup between two hosses. These guys were hitting hard, they were hitting fast, and they were bringing the pain. Priest, who was coming off of an eventful SmackDown, as he had confronted Aleister Black and just yeeted Zelina Vega. Or I'm sorry, just Zelina. She's not Vega anymore. Yeeting Zelina onto the floor, and then getting the eye poke of doom from Aleister. That turned out to be the fatal mistake, or the fatal weakness for Priest in this matchup, as Rusev, what was that?
Kryptonite.
Yep. As Rusev took advantage of a distracted referee, goes for the eye gouge onto Priest's already damaged eye, and then uses that opportunity to hit a Machka kick and get a 1-2-3 and advance deeper into the tournament. I saw a lot of people. I know a lot of people in general are just not, on board with Rusev anymore after everything with AEW and coming back here. We've talked about it week in and week out. I do think he's having good matches, and given the history of his with John, I was glad that he was in this tournament. I don't need to see him go further than the next round.
Yeah,
but I'm good for him for getting a big win. Priest, I'll be honest, I was expecting Aleister to get involved.
Same. Like, I figured it was weird because is it okay if I give away the ending of the match? Like,
I already said it. He lost. We're good.
Yeah, Rusev won with a Machka kick, and it was just kind of like, that's not even his finisher. That's his signature. Why would he win with that? And it's like, oh, well, because they want to protect Aleister. They don't want him tapping out.
Yeah.
The acolyte, and it's like, you could just make him pass out. I mean, they even want to save that, I guess. I don't know.
I thought it was silly too. Perfect opportunity for the heel to get involved, and as silly as it is, it adds stakes. Priest, of course, would have loved to have been seen as last opponent, and Aleister takes that away from him.
Also, isn't Aleister doing something with Cody now? Like, I'm confused because I didn't watch SmackDown.
He wrestled Cody, and then midway through the match, Drew comes out and just claymores the referee.
Amazing.
It was hilarious. And then as Drew is in the ring dealing with that and Cody being down, Aleister's on the outside. Priest comes in and attacks Aleister. Zelina tries distracting him, but then he just tosses her. Gotcha. And then Black hits him with the eye poke. And I feel like they're leading to like maybe a fatal 4-way there.
All right. I think, honestly, I think Cody versus Aleister would cook if Aleister had been booked better, like, since his WWE return. Like, if he was undefeated up until now.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. What up, Nas? How you doing, pal? Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well, buddy. We really got to hook up, man. It's been a minute. Nas saying he knew Rusev would win, but he thought Black would get involved. Yeah, it was logical booking that, of course, we did not get. But what can you do? It's WWE after all. But yeah, good for Rusev. They're doing their best to build him up to be a monster. Priest is going to survive this, but missed opportunity not to have Aleister get involved. It just made Rusev look like he outsmarted Priest.
Again, I think it was just a Machka kick that I wasn't a huge fan of. It was kind of like, whatever.
Yeah. Moving on, we go backstage as AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are talking to Adam Pearce. Yes, Adam Pearce. I keep getting him in. Adam Pearce about looking for opponents. They want to defend their tag team titles. He's happy to hear it, and he says, give him some time. We'll come up with something. Lee tries to come up with a new tag team name for the two of them, but AJ is still not on board with any of his suggestions. But yeah, funny little bit. We then go elsewhere backstage. Not even. We pan right on the screen, and Maxine is there calling for Adam, who's very happy to see her. He asks her if she's been training like she said she would, and if she's ready for Becky Lynch. She says yes and no. She says, I don't know that I'm ever going to feel ready, but I'm choosing to be ready, and I want to take on Becky Lynch. I did like that. I thought that was a nice little, soundbite. Pierce loves it. He says he's going to book it next week. Madison Square Garden. Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Adam Pearce walks away, and Maxine walks into a gnarly right hook from Becky Lynch. I'm very sorry to tell you guys this. This is the mark in me. I was laughing so hard at this punch that I really didn't hear what Becky said. I'm going to assume it was heel tactics. It was just too funny. Like, I really think she got her right in the face with this punch. Just beautiful moment. But I am happy for Maxine. It's going to be a fun, like, I don't know that she's going to win, but win or lose, to have a televised championship match at Madison Square Garden is a big deal. Yeah. And I think there are going to be a lot of people who root for her. So if she does win, this is going to be a huge moment in her career, like gigantic moment.
You know, you just hope, like, again, they didn't say what the stipulation was, right? Like, it was just,
I don't think so.
Yeah, you hope that it's something more than just a standard match.
Yeah.
Because again, we've had, or they could do the thing where, like, Becky gets herself disqualified next week and Adam Pearce comes out, no, we're not doing it like that.
Yeah, those are always fun.
Start this match. It's no DQ, no count out.
Yeah, those are always fun.
Either way, but just please don't just make it a standard match that goes
for the third time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third time in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to MSG next week. Any
big New York names that maybe are, like, she was talking with someone. Maybe somebody comes out that's from New York.
She didn't mention it.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Drop that. Who knows?
Yeah, it's what happens when you lay these like little like mysteries. The crowd gets way too into it, and there's almost never an instance where it really, really lives up to the hype.
Just put it up on your Instagram afterwards. Be like, previously on my life.
Yeah.
And the cameras aren't rolling, except for, the camera on my phone.
We then go back to the arena where CM Punk is looking all tough, looking all straggly, as he's not wearing ring gear. He's wearing jeans and a t-shirt with his World Heavyweight Championship. He comes out and he says he's not dressed to wrestle. He is dressed to fight. He's very upset about what happened last week. Let's see. Just going to the comments real quick. Nas saying he really thinks Dupree is going to get the belt. I hope so. She's not a better worker than Becky, but you know what? She's over right now. Let's reward that.
Unless they're saving it for AJ. I mean, where the hell is Shay?
I guess, but honestly, I don't need AJ to win a title. At least not right now. She had one appearance. She's gone for months. I don't need her to win a title. Nas saying it was definitely a real punch. It looked like it. It looked like she clocked her. Nas asking, are either one of you guys going to Raw next week? I am planning on it. I just haven't bought my ticket yet. But I'm basically looking to, sell a kidney because I plan on going to both Raw next week and DC for Saturday night's main event. So yeah, money's just a concept,
James has like the unlimited funds. I'm like, Netflix invited me to Raw in Brooklyn last time. I thought I made a good impression. They have not invited me back to Raw for next week. Netflix, why won't you answer my calls? We'll see what happens. I'll probably decide at like the, at minutes before the show starts.
Oh, Matt, I truly, you have balls bigger than like anyone I can imagine.
It's called not having money and not having a job.
No, but just that, you know what? I'm going to go and see how it goes. I love it. I like, it's not for the weak of heart. Nas saying, we all know James. Jesus Christ. I say this every week. I got to read the comments before I read them out loud. Jesus. Punk is ready for a fight. He calls out the Vision, but he is interrupted by Logan Paul. Logan, who more or less joined the Vision last week, or at the very least is in cahoots with the Vision as of last week, basically says, like, if we're really going to condense it, if you can't beat him, join him.
I just didn't like any of this. Punk,
I didn't. It felt
stunk, and so did Logan's. They were both stinky.
Logan. So I'm going to give Punk a little bit of grace, because it felt like he saw Logan stumbling and was doing his best to cover for it, but in doing so, kind of made himself look like he was stumbling a little bit.
He even had marble mouth before Logan came out, so I give him no grace whatsoever.
I wasn't crazy about it either, but I'm glad you said it because I get enough flack for attacking Punk. Nas, you're not alone, buddy. WWE is not audience friendly anymore, especially as it seems we're now moving away from the premium live events that Vince McMahon created.
What does that even mean?
I think we're just eventually they're going to do away with stuff like named events like WrestleMania or SummerSlam, and they're going to do it like UFC, where it's UFC 200 or something.
They're just super boring.
Yeah. Oh no, I completely agree. It's awful. This was a terrible decision, and everybody made a lot of money, but in doing so, what we knew WWE to be is just no longer going to be.
It's just hilarious because like WWE was trying to get away from the numbers. Like remember WrestleMania 31 where it's like let's not let's not number the WrestleManias anymore because we're looking too old.
WrestleMania play symbol, WrestleMania star,
WrestleMania XXX.
Yeah, my God. But Logan basically saying, if you can't beat him, join him. And he just doesn't want to get beat up every week. He mentions how he has been punched in the face by Floyd Mayweather, yet that was nothing in comparison to being manhandled by Bronson Reed. And
Harry's Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Like, I will say, that is a pretty good putover. Like, if I'm Bronson Reed and people are saying I'm scarier than Floyd Mayweather, that's a nice, that's cool.
Bronson Reed should steal Floyd Mayweather's shoes next, and let's no longer speak of Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather sucks. Most people in boxing suck. Fun fact for you.
I mean, just people who beat up their wives suck,
Yeah, that is very true. At this point, Logan, the Vision, Paul, who was just, my God, what a shitbag. He was like, I'm sure you've heard this multiple times, but I'm going to tell you again, you are the most unlikable person in the world. The only person who is any more unlikable than you is your wife, AJ Lee. It's at this moment Punk is ready for a fight. He says that if AJ was here, they'd all be left in their own piss and blood, but it's up to him now. They circle the ring, and this brings out Jey Uso to stand side by side with Punk. So I guess we're just leaning away from heel turn Jey at this point after last week.
Maybe it's just they're postponing it.
Maybe.
I don't mind, but like I do want that definitely to either come into play at War Games or at least get right back on track after War Games.
Well, the original rumor for War Games was that Punk and Roman were going to co-lead the team. And I guess that could still come into play, but that felt way more viable when Seth was active because they're very clearly building towards Roman versus Seth.
Probably, yeah, but who knows at this point?
Yeah. So as they're still outnumbered, out comes the adrenaline in all of our souls, Cody Rhodes. Cody comes out, evens the odds. The good guys take on the bad guys and send them packing. Fun moment. We know what we're building towards. We know Survivor Series is the next premium live event. And we know what's usually associated with that event at this point. We then go to our next matchup, our next championship matchup of the night, as Stephanie Vicar took on Raquel Rodriguez. It was fine. Raquel is doing a great job. Ever since Kevin Nash told her to wrestle big, it has changed her game. And I do think she has become a much better worker by wrestling big. This was definitely a case of Stephanie trying to overcome the odds, the smaller wrestler, the smaller champion, taking on the bigger challenger, trying to drop Raquel on several occasions, but just not really being able to. Ultimately getting the win, securing the dub and the defense by hitting a corkscrew off the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Stephanie Vicar is still our women's champion. After the match, as she is celebrating, she is almost ambushed by Roxanne Perez, but Nikki Bella makes the save. As the two women are celebrating in the ring and the Judgment Day gals are making their way up the ramp, Nikki betrays Stephanie by hitting her with the championship, a move we've all been waiting for because it was so obvious that it was going to happen. Nikki then continues to beat Stephanie and posing with the championship. Okay, there are people who are not going to give a shit no matter what because it's Nikki. There are people who are wondering why we would waste a title defense with Nikki. It's fine. I don't necessarily think this is the biggest cap in anyone's hat to beat Nikki at this point, but considering both Raquel and Roxanne have pins over her in the last 2 weeks, I don't know why we're supposed to buy her as a viable contender. But what did you think of the matchup? What do you think of the development?
So I had to walk the dog and I came back and the match was still going on. So it went longer than 3 minutes. So I was happy about that. Wink, wink. Then what happened? Oh, Raquel had a great, she started from like kind of like a sitting position, then hit the suplex. That was awesome. A little clunkiness here and there, but it was a fine match, decent overall. There's only, just put it in the bag and just keep moving forward and you're good. I think it's weird they're doing this now. I thought they were going to build a little bit more. Are they going to do a title match are they doing the turn now so that Nikki can get a title match at Survivor Series? Again, Nikki lost last week, was pinned. She lost 2 weeks ago, was pinned by who you said, Stephanie and sorry, not Stephanie, Raquel and Roxanne. And let's just remember that Nikki Bella challenged for the IC title like a month ago, and she lost that match too. So how do you go from losing an IC title match, losing 2 more matches, immediately being in a world title picture? It makes no sense. I don't care who you are.
I don't mind it. Like if Adam Pearce says you have not earned a championship opportunity next week, but Stephanie is the one who challenges her because it's like, you beat me up. I want my revenge. Fine. I work how we get there, but I agree with it's not so much how does she get this title match versus why am I supposed to believe she's in any way an actual threat to the championship? That's my big issue. Like, I don't mind that a heel weasels their way into a title match. That makes sense. I don't like this idea that I have to be afraid that she might actually beat Stephanie. And if she does beat Stephanie, terrible way to get here.
Yeah. It's not enjoyable at all. It's like you kind of wish she just took a break like AJ Lee did, just come back, do one match, then take a break.
I'm not making light of any situation. I'm just got to be honest. Woman's got an alimony she's got to pay now. I think that's the real reason why she's back on the road as much as she is. But
do the media appearances. I mean,
no, I agree.
She's got I think it was last week I complimented her. She has built a brand from nothing into something, worth millions, maybe even tens of millions. I think it doesn't matter how much she's worth. She doesn't have to wrestle. She can do other things. She can because this is, it's starting to become sad. And, I don't want to see that. Think she has a legacy that she should protect. That, her hardcore fans shouldn't be like, oh, you know what I mean? What's going on? This sucks. I don't know, man.
I get it.
Wishing you the best, Nikki. I'm sorry I shit talk you so much on this pod.
It comes from a place of love. But moving on, we have a quick backstage segment with Punk, Cody, and Jay as they are with Adam Pearce. Pearce comically just calls over William Regal.
No. It's Punk calls over William Regal.
Oh, is it Punk who did it? I thought it was Pearce. Okay. Punk called over Regal. That is all right. That is actually funnier. Punk calls over Regal, who looks both confused and ready, and just simply says, "War Games!"
That was really good.
Thank you. I have mixed feelings about this. It's fun because I love hearing him say it, but I don't want them to wear it out.
I mean, they've taken breaks from time to time. Like he didn't get to do it in NXT when they were 2.0 garbage. Like they had Braun Breaker say it.
Well, he wasn't with them at that point, wasn't he? He was in.
I think he came back at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like it's only once a year. So it's not like it's like Ron Simmons. Like every time you see him, you say damn. Which I don't. People don't get tired of that. So.
Fair enough.
I understand the concern, though. I do understand the concern. He only says it once a year. No big deal. But yeah, this is like I thought we were. Again, I don't watch SmackDown all the time. We should watch it more and cover it, but whatever. But I definitely thought we were getting the Wyatts versus the family tree in War Games.
I would have been cool with it, but they just very clearly don't want to waste the match on a mid card. That's really what it comes down to. I'm fine with it, but if you are trying to make it seem like this like deadly match that you only bring out for like the big feuds that happen to happen every November,
the big feuds that like happen within 2 weeks, like
yeah.
Give me a.
Oh no, I'm fine with the men. You know what? I'm not even really fine with it. They did not need to do War Games this year. It could have been traditional Survivor Series, and I think
or do NXT, bring in the NXT third brand, do that kind of thing again.
The women having it, and we're going to talk about it. The women having it is egregious.
Yeah, agreed.
Like there was zero reason for it other than the fact that AEW is doing it with the women. That is legitimately the only reason.
I mean, they always do it with the women. They've never not done it with the women since they introduced it. But yeah, it is ridiculous. And like, are we doing 4-on-4? Are we doing 5-on-5? Are we doing 3-on-3? Like, what is going on?
There should never be a 3-on-3. The men are absolutely going to have more. The men are absolutely going to get more because they're not just going to do Cody, Jay, and Punk versus.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But are we doing 4-on-4 or 5-on-5?
I think it should be 5-on-5, but I could see it being 4-on-4. Like I could see the men adding Roman. I could see them adding Roman and Jimmy, and then I have no idea on the bad guy side. It would have to be who? Drew and I don't even know who the other.
You got Priest and Damian. Like I really don't want to see another singles match between them. So if they put
Priest and Damian.
Oh, fuck. Priest and Alistair.
Yeah. He gives Damian energy. Alistair gives Damian energy.
Yeah. I just don't want to see another singles match between them.
Yeah, I agree.
So you could throw them in War Games.
I agree.
I don't think Jimmy's getting there. I'm sorry. Even if they like pretend he's going to be in it, they'll take him out or something.
They like to make us think that Jimmy is just as important as the rest of them. He's not. What up, Maria? How you doing, girl? Hope you're having a good night. Thank you for joining us. Wasn't 4-on-4 last year. I don't think it was either. I don't think
it was Punk and the Bloodline.
The original Bloodline versus yeah. So I think we're gonna get 5-on-5. I think it's gonna be Roman and Jimmy because he has been involved in the story with Jay. So I think we get there. I just don't know who the Vision adds in. But yeah, quick little segment. Always undeniably always a pleasure to see Regal, even if I do get worried they're going to milk that. We then have our second last time is now tournament matchup as Shinsuke Nakamura took on Sheamus. This was another beat 'em up matchup. This was another we are just going to hit each other match. Both guys really just laying into one another. Ultimately, the finish coming. I really enjoyed the finish as Sheamus bounces off the ropes, hitting an. I didn't think you could hit this move out of nowhere, but he did. An out of nowhere brogue kick. 1, 2, 3, putting down Shinsuke. I love Shinsuke. This is the guy who needed to lose, unfortunately.
Yeah.
While Shinsuke does have a history with John and has a very memorable matchup with John, Sheamus's history with John is a lot deeper. And Matt has his own reasons for wanting Sheamus to continue in this tournament. So I'm going to send it to you. What did you think of the matchup, and why are you excited Sheamus is the winner?
I mean, yeah, it was solid. And like they have the more decorated history. You look at Sheamus winning his first WWE championship. He beat John Cena in a tables match, which for years people are still saying, was that supposed to happen? Was it not?
The table broke so terribly. I know it was supposed to happen because if it didn't, they wouldn't have called it. But it broke so terribly. And to this day, my young brain cannot accept that. It cannot fully accept Sheamus because he won his title off of Cena.
Your first title win. I spelled that all wrong. But yeah, it was, and if you look at the date, it was December 13th, 2009. And December 13th, 2025 will be John Cena's last match.
Wow.
So that would be crazy if Sheamus was John Cena's last match. Personally, I don't think it should happen, but I do want to see him go deeper in this tournament. At the very least, next week, I want him to have a promo. You know, you have time to fill, guys, on television. You can do promos just backstage and just be like, fella. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the rest. The rest of this is not going to be in an Irish accent. I have to have a few drinks first. Just be like, look, John Cena just won the Intercontinental Championship. Like, congratulations, John. You're a Grand Slam champion. But, you know, that's what I've been trying to do. Like, that's what I'm on the hunt to do. That's the last thing I have to do. I've beaten you before. I can beat you again. I'm going all the way with this, and I'm going to not only beat you, retire you, but the cherry on top is that I'm going to win the Intercontinental Championship, and I myself will become a Grand Slam champion. Now, I think it should happen next week, because who knows, maybe John Cena loses the title next week on Raw at Madison Square Garden. So make sure you do that promo before the match.
I really hope John loses. I don't think he's going to wrestle at the Garden, but I do think he's going to wrestle at Survivor Series, and I hope he drops the title at Survivor Series. That way it creates more an air of mystery for that last match if he could win or lose. But yeah.
I agree. Like, going into this, I was like, he's got 4 dates left, and we've talked about it in the pod, but hey, it's a new episode. You might not have seen the last one. We're going to talk about it again. He's got 4 dates left. He's definitely wrestling one. He's got to wrestle at least in one other one. And then between the three, I thought he wasn't going to wrestle tonight. I thought he was going to do something special tonight, but not have a match. I thought Garden, it's the Garden. How do you not have a match in Madison Square Garden?
I agree.
But at the same time, I feel like the PLE is going to be more important to them. We'll see. Let's see how the PLE builds up, because we have 2 War Game matches. Let's see what other matches we have. He's definitely not going to be in the War Games match, because we already have 2 world champions in the men's face.
You're not going to throw the Intercontinental in as well. I think more than anything, they just wouldn't risk him getting hurt in the War Games match. You, like, beyond any outside of wrestling obligations, you do not want to risk him getting hurt before his final matchup.
Well, I totally agree and believe that, but that's why I would just have him come out last and have him take like the least amount of
you could do that.
No one's gonna complain.
Yeah, you're right.
You have the guys all do the face-off thing, and then by then you're spamming finishers, and you could protect them if you really.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. Who knows? I would obviously, as someone who's trying to go to the Garden, I'd rather see him wrestle next week than at Survivor Series. Quite frankly, I don't think you need Cena to wrestle at Survivor Series to sell the pay-per-view.
No.
Like, you've got War Games already. That's enough of a draw. I think getting people to watch Raw is a little bit harder. So, yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be insane if he did 4 for 4. Like, that would be crazy.
1,000%. I would love that.
We were complaining that he wasn't wrestling enough on this retirement tour. Granted, we were so used to him wrestling all the time for 20 years, How
great would it be? He just wrestles Nakamura next week. He just wrestles Damian Priest. Like, it didn't matter if you were in the tournament and lost. Like, he's still going to get you before it's over.
Just does a gauntlet match with all those losers.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, Jesus. Hilarious. and John just beats them all. We then go to an announcement for The Last Time Is Now a Tournament, as we get another match announced for next week, as we are getting NXT's Javon Evans taking on a returning Gunther. I think this is bananas. Bananas. I think this is so silly. Full disclosure, guys, I don't want Gunther to be the guy. I don't want Gunther to be John's last match. For many reasons, I don't want Gunther to be John's last match.
Name them.
I don't want, if John is going to lose his last match, I don't want the last image I have of John being obliterated by Gunther's chops or getting choked out. And I've seen a lot of people say, how great would it be if John taps out in his last match, considering he hasn't tapped out since he first won the WWE title. No, I don't fucking want that. Sometimes you want the hero of the story to be the hero in the end too. If Sting could go out retiring, beating the bad guys, why can't Cena? Beyond that, if Cena is going to win, he shouldn't beat Gunther. Gunther needs to be protected a little bit. He just lost to Punk. This was a very up and down year for the guy. Yeah, he was the world champion, but he also lost the title twice. Like, not great. Not great, Bob.
And it's also the world title. It's not the WWE championship.
Yeah.
You know?
And both times, I'm just going to say it, Gunther looked like a punk losing both of those times. Tapping out to your own finisher to Jey Uso, retire.
That was insane. Like, I couldn't believe that.
And then losing to Punk after basically buoying yourself and getting yourself bloodied because you were too egotistical. Like, the guy needs a win. But I don't need that win to be at Cena's expense. But it's going to be. And I'm very upset. And then another match was made where Solo Sikoa was announced. And then as Adam Pearce pulls the second name, he decides it's going to be a surprise for next week. Now,
he didn't take the name out, right?
He did.
He's like, this name sucks. The next week is going to be a surprise.
Let me see if I can sign someone better in the meantime.
You know what he thought he should have been like, it's Shannon Moore.
I have a feeling it's going to be Jericho.
Yeah.
Because Jericho returning at the Garden feels like a thing. The only other person I could see it being is Hendry. Because to have Hendry have an MSG moment would be big.
But I think maybe Hendry just gets to beat John Cena straight up next week. Maybe he's not in the tournament.
I don't think Hendry. I would love for Hendry to have a moment with Cena. I don't think it's going to happen.
Really? Wow. Okay.
It would be great, but like, other than Hendry saying how much he wants it, I say this as a huge Hendry supporter. Why should he get it? Like,
they need to build up new stars.
Yeah, but they have the guy in NXT losing.
Is he even losing? I thought he's just appearing.
I thought he lost to Ethan Page.
Ooh, when did that happen? That's bad.
I will say, NXT Ethan Page is being booked very, very, very well. But I agree.
Thank you, Chelsea. You work wonders. We love you.
Seriously. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm very excited to see who the mystery opponent's going to be. We're going to get another mystery opponent this Friday on SmackDown, I think.
Okay. I just wish they would give us the damn bracket. You know,
yeah.
I like brackets. Give me some brackets.
I wish we had gotten both brackets with like mystery, like question marks for like those surprises.
At least tell us who's in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to tell us where they're positioned.
Yeah.
At least tell us where they are.
I really don't want to believe they're figuring it out as they go, but I wouldn't put it past them either.
I hope Austin Theory gets a spot. Like, I'm not saying he has to win.
I think he's still injured. I think he's still injured, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. That's where he's been.
Yeah. That's why they broke up off screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Moving on to our main event.
I didn't watch wrestling that week.
Moving on to our main event. We have the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line as Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defend against the Kabuki Warriors.
And this is where I got to bow out. So I will see you later.
Have a good night, pal.
Enjoy.
And this matchup had a little bit of heat after SmackDown, where Charlotte and Alexa were defending their tag. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Charlotte was having a one-on-one match with Nia Jax. And as Alexa Bliss is in her corner, repping her team, she is attacked from behind by a debuting on the main roster, Lash Legend. Lash, who keeps Alexa at bay, choking her out as Charlotte gets distracted, pulverized by Nia, and gets the win. Later on in that evening, Charlotte and Alexa were in the medical bay where the Kabuki Warriors pulled a Joker, a Heath Ledger Joker, surprised them in medical garb, and then sprayed them with mist, just adding insult to injury. So this match had, like I said, a little bit of heat to it. As they're going back and forth in what was a fun matchup, I thought Charlotte, I've long been saying Charlotte and Alexa do have very good chemistry. Alexa has been working wonders to get Charlotte over, and she more or less has been working. Ultimately, the finish coming as Charlotte was pinning one of the Kabuki Warriors. She gets pulled out of the ring by Nia Jax and Lash Legend. At this point, Alexa Bliss goes outside to confront them. She's dealing with that. Charlotte gets double teamed, tag team finished by Asuka and Kairi as Asuka holds her up in the neckbreaker position, and Kairi hits her diving elbow. 1, 2, 3. We have new tag team champions. At this point, Nia Jax and Lash Legend get in the ring and continue the beatdown on Charlotte and Alexa. The Kabuki Warriors, the new tag team champions, join them. They are confronted by Io Sky. Io Sky does her best to make the save. The numbers are eventually just a little too much, bringing out a returning Rhea Ripley. Face mask and all, protective face mask and all. Rhea evening the odds. The baby faces sending the heels and the new champions out of the ring, cowering. At this point, Rhea demands a microphone, grabs one, and says, "War Games." So we have our second War Games match of the pay-per-view. Like I said, guys, it felt a little egregious. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy that the women are getting a big high-profile matchup, but it just felt like a War Games for the sake of having a War Games. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a curmudgeon, but I don't think so. But guys, this was Monday Night Raw. I want to say like at least a third of the show was dedicated to Cena, as he deserves. Being in Boston, being in his home state in Massachusetts, he deserves a great send-off, and he got it. Winning the titles he's never held before, the Intercontinental Championship, finally becoming a Grand Slam champion. John Cena is, as Triple H said, the greatest of all time. So in a night that had celebration, in a night that had honoring, in a night that had 2 title changes, this was a pretty fun Monday Night Raw. I'm very much hoping to be at Madison Square Garden next Monday, in which case you guys probably won't get a review afterwards, but we will definitely have footage of the show if we're there. You guys know the deal. We'll be back on Wednesday covering AEW Dynamite, which will have blood and guts. AEW beating WWE to the punch on the War Games matchup. After Blood and Guts on Wednesday, finally we will have a new episode of Impact on Thursday for TNA. So excited. Long overdue. Anybody who defends a month of no TV, you're just wrong. Sorry. And then next week, the week after, is Full Gear. We should be at Full Gear. And the week after that is Survivor Series. So a very busy November, guys. Be ready. We're going to have a lot of content for you. If you don't want to just follow us here, check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Blue Sky. We're all over the place. If you're one of our usuals, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for sticking with us. If you're new and you're just checking us out for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Join the party. Be one of ours. We have fun here. Marks love Marks. Guys, I'm James Gisanti. I was joined by Matt Cascone. We appreciate you. We love you. Have a great night. I am so tired. Monday night has become Tuesday morning. Later.